But episode 2 of our previous show is going to pick up with the Mumbai Indians. Some pretty big news with probably the trade of the tournament so far, maybe to talk about. But Baldy, I think you've got the Mumbai Indians.
I do.
Why are they gonna win, Michael?
Well, let's start with the top 4, shall we? The top 4 for the Mumbai Indians. Rohit?
Top 7, I think.
Well, let's just deal with the top 4 to start with, and then we can expand our search, expand our knowledge, and go from knowledge to understanding, as one of my kids' podcasts says. Rohit, Ishan, Sky, Tilak, Varma. That's all you need to know in terms of how they can win this tournament. All 4 tremendous batters, all 4 match winners, all 4 Indian players, and they have their keeper that can bat in the top 4. How long have we got to go? 9.5 minutes. I'm going to need to really stretch out the rest of my preparation. That's all I really had.
Well, and you've just moved Romario Shepherd off your
we'll come back to that. Just ignore that.
I'm sure we can fill 9 minutes talking about Hardik versus Rohit.
It's pretty good. I mean, it's pretty amazing, though. I said top 7 because, you add in Hardik, who, as you say, huge trade, obviously was Mumbai, went away to Gujarat, ridiculous success rate over there, picked up the title, impressive stuff that I guess built on all of the leadership aspects and really showed what he can contribute from that point of view. Then we've got, someone like Nihal Wadera, who really impressed last year, and we've got Tim David in the mix as well. So their top 7, the power and the runs that group of players has in them, you're never going to feel safe as a bowling attack when you're running and trying to defend against them.
And you haven't mentioned Dewald Brevis, who is highly touted, highly credentialed young player. They've got no shortage of ability to score runs in the top 7. We kind of have glossed over the fact that really of those guys, only really Hardik bowls. Sky doesn't really bowl. I don't think Tilak Varma bowls very much. Rohit doesn't bowl. Tim David doesn't really bowl. So if Hardik doesn't bowl much in that top order, you're going to need to find a 6th option somewhere, because if those guys bat all the way down to 7, I mean, I didn't have either Dewald Brevis or the other chap that you mentioned. Yeah, I didn't have them in the first 11 because I had to basically look at that and go, well, Hardik, if he doesn't bowl much, if he only bowls 1 or 2 overs, I still need 5 bowlers. So who are my bowlers going to be? They don't have a Jadeja. They don't have a spin bowling all-rounder who can bat in the top 7. That's
like a Kyron Pollard, which is your kind of direct conversation for Tim David, isn't
100%,
it? A guy with great levers, but who offers you something.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's, for me, a lot rests on the fact that Hardik is, if they can get him to bowl overs, it gives their side so much more flexibility, but they are going to need to find some overs from somewhere.
Can we talk a little bit about the auction? Because I know you and I had very different opinions on that, Raj, because, you talked about all of those, their potential weaknesses, I suppose, in some of their bowling maybe. I thought their auction was brilliant in that they actually went out. I don't think they eased all of their concerns, but I think that they certainly, we've just named all of the international or all of the local batters. They went out and they got Madushanka, they got Gerald Coetzee, and they fixed. They added some depth in some of that bowling attack to add to Jasprit.
Yeah, I completely agree. I actually have their core 4 bowlers as really one of their strengths. And let's just talk about seam bowling. Madushanka swings the ball. Gerald Coetzee bowls with pace, gives them something different. Jasprit is he's almost a unicorn.
He's reasonable, isn't he?
He's almost a unicorn in that he bowls with pace, moves the ball, can bowl at the top, can bowl in the middle, can bowl at the death. He is like an all-in-one package. You just roll him out and you're going to get 4 quality, if not match-winning overs from him.
Behrendorff with the white ball.
Yeah, Behrendorff with the white ball does do a little bit with it, and he's probably the guy that, if you have a look at those 3 pace bowlers we've talked about, doesn't where's he going to fit in the team?
Did a nice job for them last year.
He is like a money ball pick, isn't he?
Yeah,
he is like he gets on base. And he's not a Trent Bolt. He's
he's extremely dangerous with a new ball.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And the beauty of having that all-Indian top 6 or top 5 at least is that you do have options to have overseas bowlers in that bowling attack. So you can take 2, maybe even 3 of your bowling lineup be overseas players because you've got 1 through 5 are all Indian players.
So we've talked about the pace. What about the spin? They don't really have a headliner there. They've got Chawla, Nabi, Brevis. There's no real headliner there.
And you got to 5 minutes as well, Baldy.
You're doing well.
I'm doing okay.
Really well.
I'm doing okay. Spin is a concern for me in that I don't think, other than Mohammad Nabi, who I didn't have in my first choice side, he would be the guy that would come in potentially, but I'm not sure that they've got like match-winning spin options. Headliner acts, and if this is a vaudeville play, he's like Piyush Chawla is not first on the billing, right? He's way down the order. I don't want to disrespect him because he's had a great career, but like I don't think they have a match-winning spinner in their team, and teams that have been traditionally successful have had one or more match-winning teams. The concern is that not only do they not have a match winner, but they don't have a lot of options. So if it is a turning wicket, you can't throw 3 options in this Mumbai Indian lineup at teams.
Can we move on to this leadership thing? I'm going to put a stake in the ground, and I'm going to say I don't think it's a thing. I don't think that there are dressing room tensions or anything like that people are sort of talking about. What do you guys think about we're going to call it the Rohit versus Hardik?
Look, Rohit's obviously captain of, he's the president of India, essentially, isn't he? He's the captain of their test match side. The way that he leads that side is just absolutely fantastic.
He's the captain in all formats still, isn't he?
Captain in all. Is he all formats?
Yeah, I think so.
So I think he's got a pretty big job. What I'd like to have known is what the conversation was in the background. I'd really like to understand whether they had a conversation. They said, we're thinking of doing this. What do you think? And he's like, yeah, cool, I'm on board because, do you know what? I've got a big enough job as it is. So, look, I tend to agree with Raj. I don't think it's a big deal as long as they had the conversation. Be interesting to know if he was at the Ambani wedding, and then you probably can probably find out because if it's not, that honeymoon may well be over. If there is a little bit of politics in that as the season kicks off,
it would be really weird.
That was a good honeymoon joke, and I didn't get anything from you.
No, I liked it.
Lol.
I think it would be really weird though, right? If surely, I don't know. I mean, maybe they don't. Maybe Hardik and Jasprit and Rohit aren't the best of mates. I have absolutely no idea. But like when you've played in a team with someone for a long time, usually you might have a sense of, to be fair, I've never like switched allegiances in a club environment. I've always been one team in one city. But I feel like wouldn't he have called them up and said, oh, hey, I'm going to come back? Like, I don't know. I tend to agree with you. It feels ridiculous. But then you see all of can you trust social media? But you see all of it, and there's still all the stuff, though, out there. Like people reporting saying, so-and-so has said, don't worry, Rohit, you can, MS Dhoni's going to retire and you can come and captain CSK next year. Like there's all of the stuff out there that there's still some unrest, right?
I think it's one of those things, winning fixes everything.
Yeah.
If they drop a few key losses, maybe the cracks open up.
Yeah, that will be the real, that may be where the knives come out. But I wonder if this isn't just like, there's quite a mature group of cricketers in this side, right? Like there's a lot of these guys. You even mentioned Berendorf, like he's a veteran. Like these guys, it feels like they're one of those kind of veteran teams that they're just going to know how to win games where maybe like on paper they shouldn't, or they find themselves in a bit of a hole, and these guys will figure out how to win. If they don't win those games and they do fall over and don't win games that they should win, that's when the leadership conversation will come out. But until then, this is a side stacked with talent. I didn't mention Shreyas Gopal. Not a great, big, huge household name, but another option that they can throw from a spin perspective and probably comes in there in that first choice side, I reckon.
Well, before you ask him for predictions, I will just say I think this is a very big season for Ishan Kishan.
Yep.
He's just lost his, IPL contract.
Yep.
His
contract,
Indian contract.
Yep.
And, there's been a lot of controversy about him going back and playing Ranji Trophy and not wanting to do that and focusing on the IPL. I think this is a big, big season for him to kind of either prove people wrong or maybe he starts to fall down the pecking order even more if he doesn't do well.
Surya Yadav the same. Tilak Varma, for different reasons, also a very important season for him. We'll see what he's really made of batting at that crucial number 4 position. No Cameron Green, of course, in that side this year.
Right, well, from worried about time to nearly out of time, let's go to predictions for the Mumbai Indians. They are top of the betting. They are sitting at 4-1 with Bet365. Where are they going to finish, though, Baldy?
I find that really interesting. I have them third in my list of teams. But yeah, it wouldn't be surprised me if a lot of people have them as heavy favourites, but I have them third.
Awesome. Well, we will come on to our collective predictions at the end of the episode, but that does wrap up the Mumbai Indians.